Ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're talking self-observation, right? Like, what does it actually mean to know yourself?
Yeah. And this text we're looking at today, it's all about that. Really practical, too.
That's what I like. For me, the imagery really makes it click. Like that whole thing about the mind being a turbulent lake.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
So we're lost in the middle of this lake, waves crashing, thoughts swirling.
To most of us, we're so used to that feeling. It's like constant chaos in there.
Totally. Always something buzzing around in my head. But the text is saying we're missing something. Like we're so caught up in the waves, we forget about the lake itself.
Exactly. It's not what we're thinking that's the main point here. It's the thinking itself, that constant internal dialogue.
So it's not about trying to think better thoughts. It's about something else.
It's about noticing the substance of thought. That's what the text says, that force that keeps those thoughts churning.
Okay, I think I get it. But how do we escape that? How do we get off this crazy lake and find some peace and quiet?
Well, interestingly, the text says we have to hit a breaking point first, like really drowning in all that mental noise.
That sounds kind of stressful, honestly.
It can be.
Yeah.
But it's like necessary.
Right.
The only way to really appreciate the quiet is to be overwhelmed by the noise, right?
Okay, so this crisis, this drowning feeling, it's actually like a good thing.
In a way, yeah. It's like a wake-up call.
Yeah.
The first step to finding some real peace.
Interesting. Tell me more about that.
It's kind of like, have you ever noticed, like when things are going okay, we don't really change that much.
Yeah, it's like we need that push, right?
Yeah.
That feeling of, okay, something's got to change.
Exactly. And that's what this text is getting at. It's only when we're really desperate for peace, when the old ways just aren't working anymore. That's when we're finally ready to try something new.
So we're totally overwhelmed, ready to give up on this whole turbulent lake situation. What happens next? How do we even start to find that peace?
Well, the text describes it as this process, right? Like as we start to quiet those thoughts, those waves, they start to calm down too. And we slowly, slowly rise to the surface of the lake.
Okay. I'm starting to get a little calmer just picturing it, but it's not just about relaxing on a beach somewhere, right? There's something bigger happening here.
Right. It's not just about feeling good. It's about seeing things differently. The text actually uses this really cool image. It says the lake gets so still, it basically turns into a mirror.
Oh, wow.
And that mirror reflects a totally new life, a deeper reality, one that was always there, but hidden under all the chaos.
Okay, I think I get that. It's like, have you ever had those moments where you're just totally present, maybe out in nature or something, and everything just kind of clicks into place?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like seeing the world with new eyes. Like suddenly everything is fresh and amazing again.
It's like that feeling after a really good meditation, maybe. When your mind is clear and you can finally just be.
Yes, and that's what this text is saying. When we quiet the mind, we can finally really see reality, not just the surface stuff, but the deeper meaning behind it all.
It's not about escaping reality, then it's about experiencing it more fully, maybe.
Exactly, and it goes even deeper than that. The text actually talks about a radiant dawn that breaks through the clouds, like a symbol for this huge shift in awareness, almost a spiritual kind of thing.
Okay, hold on. Are we talking about, like, staring at the sun now? Because I'm pretty sure that's not good for you.
No, not literally. It's just a metaphor.
Yeah.
The sun represents this deeper truth, this understanding.
Yeah.
And we can only access it when we quiet all the mental noise.
It makes sense, like that saying, silence is golden, but how do we actually get there? Like, how do we tap into this calmer, more aware state of being? Especially with everything going on in our lives, it's not like we can just shut off the world and meditate all day. No, there's some magic button, right? Or is there? Does the text say how to do this? Find that peace.
It does mention a few things, like it talks about this idea of the observer and something called the antikarana, which is a little more out there.
The observer, like someone watching us think. That sounds kind of creepy, honestly.
No, it's not like that. It's more like, okay, imagine there's a part of you that can just sit back and watch your thoughts go by. Not judging them, just observing.
Okay, so that's the observer. What's the antikarana, the creepy sounding one?
That one's a little tricky to explain. The text is kind of vague, to be honest. But it seems like it's a connection, like a bridge between our everyday minds, the ones that are always going a mile a minute, and that calmer observer part of ourselves.
Okay, I kind of get it. So instead of getting swept away by every thought, every worry, we can choose to just observe them, like they're not really us.
Exactly. And the more we do that, the stronger that antikarana, that bridge becomes. And get this, the text says that when we can do that, we tap into this whole other level of clarity, creativity, wisdom, all that good stuff.
Huh. It's like those times when the answer to a problem just pops into your head, you know? Could that be the antikarana at work?
Maybe. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
The more we can access that calm observer part of ourselves, the more those aha moments just seem to happen naturally.
Wow. Okay, so we've gone from feeling totally lost in the middle of a stormy lake to this idea that there's a whole different way of experiencing reality, all by quieting the mind and tapping into our own inner wisdom. That's a lot to take in.
It is, but it's exciting, right? This text is basically saying that we all have this amazing potential within us, just waiting to be unlocked.
And that's what this whole deep dive is all about, right?
Yeah.
Exploring those possibilities. So to everyone listening, don't be afraid to do a little deep diving of your own. Keep asking questions, keep exploring. You never know what you might find. Until next time.